Yo, welcome back to Danganronpa. In the last episode, which is already so long ago, I really need to finish this game without taking months in between. In the last episode, we have started the investigation, and now we're, I think, almost done with the investigation. So let's just talk to Kyoko because I don't know what happened last time. So
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey.
Do you remember the wristwatch Taka always wore in his left hand? I don't think so. You did?
Ooh.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? Yeah, that's pretty spot on actually. No, that's exactly it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
So then.
Take a look. It's broken, you can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all little boys and girls. Yeah, I see. So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 PM. Meaning, it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch has been added to the report section. And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. Oh, he also had a note with handwriting in it. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto.
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
Because...
Rigor mortis is already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? That does not make any sense at all, but okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper?
Hey.
Was that all he had in his hand? Where's the rest of it? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper, doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Ifumi's body.
So then...
Let's check Ifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Nice! Kyoto's scrap of paper! Hi there, again. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Ifumi's massive corpse from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here the repository. Didn't we already find out that it was like with these, what's it called? The little thing with the wheels. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. Just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Ifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office. I'm still so confused, because... Didn't he talk when he was in this room? So didn't he just, like... walk up by himself? That was the room where he died in Aoi's hands, or was that before? Maybe I'm just messing things up completely. When he found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that and why? Have I looked at that thing before? It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. I'm sure you saw it in an art room. It's used to move sculptures and stuff around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend it, it's not too hard to use. But more importantly... Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel! There's a bloodstain on it. So there's blood on the wheel on the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Hina! Got anything to say?
So,
Doesn't Kyoko get creeped out, poking at dead bodies and stuff? Apparently not. There are many aspects to the incident this time, too many to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? No thanks! Good idea. I take every help I can get. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And apparently he died after 6. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in a rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock.
Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after that, not long after leaving the nurse's office.
What's wrong?
I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
Based on Celeste's claims, we went up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that,
Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen a suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor.
Celeste, what's wrong?
oh, that was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Huh?
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is back, come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hino, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued suspect on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hino alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened. Actually, I'm like questioning right now if we always had scenes like that we could talk to someone at the crime scene that just replayed the whole thing for us, because I never paid attention or like never got anything like that before. But it's nice to catch up when my stupid hair when you haven't played in a long time.
However... But at that same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka.
And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran to Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. Then we remembered we had
abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room.
This can't be happening.
Are we hallucinating all this or something?
This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began a search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time,
Celeste told us she found the bodies and we all headed to the repository.
and then we discovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. They just had a dead body party. And that brings up to now.
However, looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime.
Thanks for getting us... Can I leave? Am I allowed to leave? Interesting. Oh, okay. I can. So, did you find anything?
Indeed. I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this.
A wet of paper?
That's right. Hifumi had it hidden on him.
Hidden?
Indeed. He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see.
In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that? It was just his pants, not like his socks or something.
Okay, so that's where we draw the line now, I see. I don't know what that means.
Hey. Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up.
When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... it better be important for me, I'll never forgive you for this. A note. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM. It's not even signed with like who did it. That's very weird.
So... That sounds very familiar.
That's it, it's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However,
Oh, I can't remember that one.
Although, it's not exactly the same, is it?
Well, last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. 1 AM. The other one was 6 AM or 6 PM. The times are different. The time, yeah. He told us that his note said to meet at 1 AM. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 AM.
is that right?
Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it wasn't meant for him.
Huh?
So,
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there.
There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Was it signed by someone, maybe? Could you maybe explain a little more?
Think carefully.
hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly?
I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer.
What is going on? A note Hifumi had was meant to truthful section of your handbook. Thank you.
hey,
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing.
Why is my camera so... Is that better? I don't know.
The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place.
So you're saying I'll have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role.
A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. Why does she have the whole case figured out but doesn't tell us the result? But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Nice. E-handbook. It's time for class trial. Already. Oh man, I think I'm not good at this.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death.
Okay.
And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot.
Does Monokuma ever run out of his martinis or whatever he's drinking there? Margaritas, I don't
Make
know.
your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
What if I just don't show up?
It would seem...
Oh, it's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion.
Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going.
Okay. I feel like I don't know anything at all. The sounds help me. Go through the big red door or die, Makoto Naegi. Let me just die on the spot here. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello!
Why is there two of you? He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I'm multiplied.
So you're like Sonic now, I see.
Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
What was Oi! Tough crowd.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey, hey!
Then, if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on! I'm not mentally prepared yet! Yeah, same bro, same.
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already I didn't do it, for serious!
That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note?
Oh, well, no, but...
How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right, let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right! I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Ifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Ifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is one of us! Among us! Someone right here. Let's just go. I took one last deep breath. And exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator once everyone was aboard. The doors closed on their own. And the steel box began to move. We're missing some elevator music. This would make this whole scenario way more family friendly. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up upon a cruel fate. Oh! Nice decoration.
When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you.
Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed last trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold on to you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
After this commercial break. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial! Do you want to save the dead? Yes, please. Dun 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 dun. What again do I have to do? Open e-handbook! No, that's not what I want to do. Set skills! Lost and fun. Increase the time limit for each phase. Effective turn. Did I? Focus. I apparently have set things already, so I'm just gonna keep it that way, and I'm just gonna say, get into the class trial. Because I don't know what any of these things do,
Let's begin with a basic explanation. If you can figure out who done it, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Yeah, but it's not Hero, that's too easy.
Was that?
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
Wait a second, I just had an idea. Because it's always the people pushing it towards Hero, just like before we entered the elevator were Celeste and Asahina. Didn't they say we could have had like 2 culprits or something? What if it's both of them?
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Hina.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence.
Okay, show me the evidence.
Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
The only thing that I really take for evidence is did Hifumi say a name before he died? Didn't he say like Hero or something?
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
He literally doesn't have the brain cells to do it, even if he wanted to.
I don't know.
Is Hero really the killer, or... Before anything else, you have to make that clear. Yeah, debate time. Make your argument. Yes, Hero's message.
Everything we found in your room.
Oh.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff.
The message is the one that says
It's a conspiracy.
that he has to meet at 6 a.m. or something,
why?
right? 1 a.m.
Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
Okay, I don't know where to use it. Do I have any more truth bullets? Looking at the blueprints, and handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, here his handwriting is. Oh.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Hold on. No, that's wrong. Break.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Let me present you some evidence.
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Thanks for having my back.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
He just wrote the other thing with left.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
She just straight up admits it.
So
But that could
Makoto,
be a seam.
Are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
We got Togami on our side, really? Okay, now I think Hero did it.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
It's you tried it on as
Is
well.
it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit.
Maybe it was a real robot. Have you ever considered this?
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
I don't know! Of course he passed it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Me! Suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. The Illuminati! China!
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
Wouldn't Togami fit into the suit? Isn't he about the same height and size as Hero?
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
Because he was set up, maybe.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Like, how could you murder someone if you can hardly move in that thing?
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
Ha!
What?
Now it feels embarrassed, huh?
Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
That's true.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Of course, it's my honor. Oh, things that were used to move Taka's body, there must have been... the dolly.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. Okay, wait. Can I already explained part of this before, but there's still one more thing. Okay, wait. I thought I had to... this one.
I got it!
Okay.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
But who's strong enough to even carry Taka? Like...
So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, When Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
There must be someone who has no alibi for that time. And it wasn't Kyoko. That would be too obvious.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Because if someone would have stayed with the whole group the whole time and then just disappeared while the body was also disappearing. Someone would have like noticed that someone just like has been absent for a couple of minutes or something.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
I don't know.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Hey, don't make it personal.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
I'm throwing full shade. Like, dude, that's taking full offense here. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice with being so mean. Maybe I can change your mind. I could just explain to them. Oh, is it the mind letter thinking game? Why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to the bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Please. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tabulator key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tabulator key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember the tabulator key now has a function along with the RB and LB buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Well, good luck and have fun. I hope I'm set to gentle because I have no idea what you just said. Oh, this already? What?
You had it wrong. I cannot agree.
I thought we only do this when we have to figure out who done it.
Lies will get you nowhere.
Why is it in the middle of the class trial now?
Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
Thanks, I know that.
Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Why can't I see?
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
I can't see.
You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Final strike.
I cannot agree.
Prove it.
AUX, what did she say? I don't know, I can't read that fast. Oh god.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Okay, but now I definitely know that I did not set my settings to gentle.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
Ha!
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
This is my comeback. Ha. Take it. Jeez, the Celeste really hate me that much.
Well, anyway,
apparently.
That was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Robo Justice!
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
A friendly robot.
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If you look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Make your argument! Rebel Justice costume. Okay.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to try.
Shoot!
Okay, okay. Damn it. Why did I run out of hearts already? No!
It would appear that the one of the most votes is Makoto. However, Makoto is not the black and too bad. Looks like the vehicle gets to graduate.
Is this...
No, I wanna die. Yeah, sure.
I refuse to give up yet.
Okay. This is my comeback now. Okay, I'm sorry. How many hearts do I have? Oh man.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Ah, not possible in a
Then
suit.
you could push the dolly no problem.
Come on!
So the killer just crouched down,
Not possible.
carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Yeah, because you can't bend over.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Okay, okay. The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it you have to be able to bend over. Anyone wearing the suit have been able to actually stoop down like that?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
How can I fast
And
forward
from
again?
there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp,
I don't know how I can
then
fast
loaded
forward.
it onto the dolly
Sorry.
and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched
How can
down
I fast
and
forward?
carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you
I
must
know.
realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
I know.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Okay. Okay. I always forget the controls.
As we
It's
know,
so
Taka
dumb.
was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the
Oh,
body in the
Jesus.
tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Stop right there.
That's wrong.
Oh. Finally, took me long enough.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised to get anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. Ha!
When
Dig in
you're
your own
that
grave.
Suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, What's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
That's what I was thinking too just now.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body, because here's not strong enough. Once it's on, you can never take it off. You can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with those feet, but I can't actually get it off. A little help, please.
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make the super freaking thing.
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
So he was locked in there by someone else. But how did they knock him out in the first place? Food poisoning,
true.
maybe?
It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Honestly, after this trial, I could understand if Hero would just try to kill Hina.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Why would you take a photo instead of helping him when you see this? What? How did you get hurt?
That guy hit me.
What guy?
Robo-Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
So he was injured as well at first. Okay, I forgot
The
that.
individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Oh, do I have to wrap it up already?
What a pain in the ass!
True.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
Or she just tells us, but she never tells us anything, so...
Alright then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko. and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong?
I saw a shadow something moving around the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the third floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so we headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Huh?
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is back, come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
And they found Taka.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
And there was only one body discovery announcement. So that was Taka, and Hifumi was still alive. And wiped his glasses. And wasn't moved by the dolly because maybe he went up to the repository room by himself. But why would he do that? Where was the dolly in the... I'm having thoughts, but that doesn't make sense.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening.
Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
Okay, I didn't remember that part.
And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Oh. Okay, Taka was next to the science lab first, right? Okay, right.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
But why? What is the use in... Why would you...
I think that about covers it.
Why would you move the bodies to a different room? What is the use in that? What?
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
True.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
But what happened?
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradiction is hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Dun 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 dun. Mono Kuruma file.
So, regarding Taka's death, I
Bring it
wonder
on.
if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
Before.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Sorry. I don't even know what does the Monokuma file say.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
No.
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Nah. Justice Hammers were numbered. Well, were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
And that's
or
the one about
perhaps it
the
was
order.
After?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot! So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What is that?
What makes you say
Can I copy statements? Should I copy a statement?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came
Okay, wait, I
after.
think I have to do this actually.
So,
Thank you.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Ha!
No,
Got it.
that's wrong.
I forgot I could do that. I was just trying to fast forward the time.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. Oh, the clock. The broken wristwatch. God damn it. It's gonna be wristwatch, right? Yeah, okay. Easy. Give me an eye. Wrist. Give me an A. H. Come on, come on. The broken wrist That's
Now
such a
I
tongue
understand.
breaker. Why did he sound like Sonic when he said that? Now I understand.
Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
Wow. How convenient.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer, because as of last night,
Hey you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at the wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know, the bedtime for all little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
Oh,
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
what if he was killed by a different person and the other person just laid the hammer next to it, like Togami was tampered with the crime scene?
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Huh?
What was that? Came from downstairs, it must have been.
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. Just back, come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Doesn't make sense.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
Maybe he just hurt his toe or something.
If that's
Stepped on a
true,
Lego quick.
where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Great alibi, great job.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
Kyoko, help me, please. I don't know anything.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
Why is no one talking about the fact that he was speaking later? Didn't he die in Asahina's arms?
He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though.
So then Killer was able to get in on the movie from his body in that short amount of time.
It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
I hate this game! That's what I've been saying the whole time! Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
I mean, am I just remembering things wrong? Because I can clearly remember the scene that he opened his eyes or something while he was like laying on Hina's chest, which was like, oh, I'm sure he would like that, and then...
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was... alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? I'm starting to question my own sanity and my own memory. Broken wristwatch. Why would I need that now?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's
dead body had been found.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot! I refuse to give up yet!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Faster, faster, come on,
chance he
faster.
was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
I have to take the last statement and use that at first or something.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that?
Oh!
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi,
How can I make it faster? Come on.
There's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Just shooting that at that thing.
Is why the announcement was made.
Okay, okay, come here.
Are we really so sure about that?
Come here.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I was gonna copy that!
Shoot!
I'm losing my mind.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in
Faster.
the nurse's office,
Faster.
there's a chance he was
Come on.
actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery.
How can I make it faster?
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Finally! I got it! I'm sure body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying
Thank
that when we
you.
first
Ah.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Come here, bring it on.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Bring it
Did you
on.
know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Was
The
the body
controls.
discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.